Now we got Dawn, you give her a few days off and she's
I'm ready.
ready. Are we on? Okay. We're going to call the meeting to order. It is Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On and on board.
Okay. Minutes and reports received and filed.
There is none for today.
Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings and events.
Looks like we have a hazard mitigation planning meeting tomorrow. Cole County Extension meeting Thursday, Eastside Business Friday. That's about it until next week.
Tomorrow I'm going to tour the chamber building as we continue our search for locations for the public defenders. I think there's a Cole County Communities on Thursday morning.
Thursday, yeah, 7.
The safety meeting on Thursday, has that been canceled?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
No, yeah,
Certain people.
she canceled. I think that was sent out.
Maybe not for you, Harry.
Okay.
I think that was the safety committee, and I think it was a mistake in which safety committee it was. So, may check with Sierra on that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Are you going to be able to make that Healing House meeting for Wednesday night on 170? Okay. Yeah, I got communities. I got the county safety meeting. Monday, we've got medical WebEx at 8. And even though it'll be next Tuesday, don't forget the sheriff's barbecue. And he's going to have tickets. So anyway, everybody come out and eat barbecue with the sheriff. Okay, commission comments? Nope. Resolutions and proclamations. Retirement resolution presented to Paulette Locke. Ma'am, would you come forward? Speech. You're too young, though, so I won't bite. Okay. Whereas Paulette Locke is retiring from the Cole County Prosecuting Attorney's Office after 28 years of service to the citizens of Cole County, and whereas she started work at 10 years old. Whereas Paulette started a career in 1980 working at the Boone County Sheriff's Department under the leadership of Sheriff Charles Foster, where her duties consisted of typing law enforcement reports and helping out in jail control room as needed. Well, see, you can go help John. Whereas Paulette started her tenure at the Cole County Prosecuting Attorney's Office in September 1992, working under the following prosecuting attorneys: Richard Callahan, Bill Tackett, Mark Richardson, and Locke Thompson. And whereas around the office, Paulette is known as June Cleaver because she is a perfect office mom. You're supposed to be wearing clothes then. She keeps the office moving quickly and efficiently while keeping everybody motivated. She rarely gets frustrated, but when she did, she would make the best of it. As her cubicle sign says, it is what it is. And whereas Paulette is a member of Immaculate Conception Church and is active in the Immaculata Club, she enjoys reading, baking, and is forever rearranging furniture and creating new surroundings. And whereas Paulette and her late husband Kevin have one son, Alex, and whereas during retirement, Paulette plans to travel, stay in touch with friends, volunteer work, be active, and enjoy life. Now therefore be it resolved that the people of Cole County do hereby thank and commend Paulette Locke for her years of faithful service and loyalty to the county. We also wish her the best in her retirement and many enjoyable years ahead, as we will truly miss her. That's true. Turn around and so we'll take pictures.
Turn it around.
Yeah.
You can go out there and take better pictures, better looking people.
Speech.
Oh, no.
Speech.
I don't know what to say. I mean, 40 plus years ago, I responded to an ad in the paper, and when they answered Boone County Sheriff's Department, I almost hung up, because it really threw me.
Is it the
And
sheriff's part or is it?
It was, yeah, and I started there,
Thank you, Jeff.
and from there I went up to prosecutor's office, and 40 years, here I am. So I'm glad I didn't hang up the phone.
I am too. And you work a lot of days when you don't have to work, holidays, things like that, because I've seen you, so thank you.
You're welcome. It's been great, and I'm very grateful.
And we're supposed to say there is cake and punch and shrimp and Bloody Mary.
Let's go. I'm
Yeah.
going.
But thank you, Paulette.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, June.
You're welcome.
Okay. You can always come back.
I want to will. In my comfy clothes, I'll come visit. Now, how much longer do you have? Maybe that'll be my next.
We're running again, so at least another, yeah.
We hadn't had this many retirements till you got up here. Just saying.
Okay.
He's leaving already? You're not gonna stick around?
Hey, Rich, what's your email again?
It's my name, Rich G. Kelly.
Okay,
No period.
the 24th, we're gonna do a gathering of the Great Minds. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah,
When that is now.
yeah, mark it on your calendar. I'll get it. Okay, okay. We did that, bids and contracts. Bid award of 2021-17 banking services.
For 2021-17 banking services, we had one responded, and it was Central Bank. Our recommendation is to go with Central Bank, and then I believe option 2, right? Eric?
Yes, and we can actually, if you wanted to, Mark and I can expand real quickly on why option 2 is really the only choice if you wanted to. talk
Okay,
about
turn
it.
this
You guys have these, or
Mark.
I've got it, yeah, it was attached to the, Sam probably needed it. I'm just saying. You want one, right?
Yes.
If you press on that blue thing right there, on the blue writing, click on that and that'll come up.
Oh.
I know you don't want to do it that
I'm
way.
good. I like paper.
Sorry, Jessica, I'm trying to.
I like paper.
He likes the paper stuff.
Y'all have the interest option sheet in front of you?
Yes, it's
Yes.
Mark did some calculations on why option 2 is really the only choice. I'll let him expound on it. He doesn't have something he feels comfortable sharing with because it's not complete, but he can explain it in such a way that it'll make sense, if that makes sense. Go ahead.
Well, under option 1, we would only be getting 75% of the 91-day T-bill coupon rate, which right now is like 1 or 2 basis points, which is basically nothing. So, but on option 2, we'd be getting 7.75%, which is 75 basis points versus 1 or 2 basis points on the first 14 million. So just that fixed amount on the first 14 million is $88,750 in interest per month, guaranteed, just on that first 14 million. Right now, if we took option 1, 75% of the 91-day T-bill coupon rate, we'd be getting, say, more like $500 a month total on all of our money. $500 to $600 total. So if the feds would raise the rate like right now to 1%, 100 base, which won't happen. then maybe option one would be the better option. But as interest rates rise over time, then option one would look better, but those rate increases would have to happen real quick to offset that guaranteed 8750 interest rate per month on the first 14 million. So
the Federal Reserve typically would raise the Fed funds rate 0.25%, 25 basis points at a meeting. They have meetings throughout the year, and typically, historically, the most they ever have done with any consistency is 25 basis points every meeting, once every quarter. So there have been instances where they've raised it 50 basis points, but that's very, very rare. So I think as we sit here and we look at our calculations, it's safe to say that even if there were 4 or 5 or 6 0.25% rate increases, let's say inflation doesn't go away, and the inflation that they're talking about right now isn't just temporary because demand is surging and the economy is coming back. Let's just say it sticks around for argument's sake. This time next year, there will have obviously had to have been at least 1 or 2 or 3 rate increases. And then you go all the way to the end of our, 2-year contract with Central Bank, and even then, option 2 is still the best pick. So if you all have any questions, we can answer them.
How long are we locked in for on this? Is this a 1-year thing?
2 years.
2 years. 2 year with an option to renew for another 2.
Okay.
So we've got the very best option 2 here, because even if rate increases continue, we have the option in 2 years to rebid it or to renew it. And at that point, it'll be a lot clearer, what's happened to rates and where inflation stays. So this is about as good as it gets, if you ask me. So
I agree.
I do have one question, if I may. I just want to clarify. Eric, so one of the accounts that we have, the prosecutor's office, is our Restitution Fund. That is money that is owed directly to crime victims for whether it's property damage, medical bills, whatever. I just want to make sure that these prices per transaction aren't going to be coming out of a restitution fund that is money that is owed directly to crime victims.
right, and that would be a question for Debbie or Kristen rather than our office. Yeah, but it's a good question for sure, because I think there's another office or two that have similar question about how the fees, which we haven't had to deal with in the last 15 or so years, how that plays out with a fund like his.
Just off the cuff, I would think it would come back out of the interest that was coming. And if it wasn't as much as the interest was, then we talk about the other,
Sure.
if it was above that.
Okay.
And this has not been a question in the past because we weren't incurring these transaction fees, which are new. Some of these are new to us, right? In this contract.
Historically, I think the recession in 2008, it was so devastating, and rates plummeted to historic lows that the bank and many banks across the country were trying to give their customers a break. Because I guess in the scheme of things, you could end up owing more in fees than what you were getting in interest in your account. And so Central Bank, along with a whole bunch of others, eliminated fees or reduced them drastically. And so now, fast forward to 2021, and it's a very different world out there. And it's worth pointing out that right now, a bank like Central Bank loses money to some extent, on the huge amount of cash that their clients are depositing, and we're a good example, right? We just got another $7 million. And Central Bank has to pay FDIC fees on those monies that they have on deposit. And those fees, as they get more and more in deposits, those fees go up. And they have to find some way to offset their FDIC fees. And so I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing a new fee schedule on our accounts, is they have fees of their own that they owe somebody as well.
In the past, I understand that the court has tagged along with us on the bid, and there's been some discussion that they don't wish to at this time, and we've determined that it doesn't change numbers for us at all at the county, right? Okay.
Are they still not wanting to be a part of it, or we haven't had a definite answer?
I don't think we have a definite answer. I did make a call last week and left a voice message to alert some that they may not be tagging and have to determine their own approach. But but we're set with this, whether they're with us or not.
I don't see how they could possibly get a better deal on their own as a much smaller piece of the pie than being bundled together with us, but I guess that's for them to pursue
Right.
and find out.
And today, we're just asking to award the bid to Central Bank. We don't have the agreement yet with them. The
Okay.
contract back, that is.
Okay.
And award option 2.
I'll make that motion to award this contract with Central Bank and utilize option 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, do we have any unfinished business? Okay, new business, accounts payable review.
I'd ask for approval of accounts payable pending review.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable pending review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Abatement hearing, are you Mr. Butts?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Abatement hearing 202-103-007, Ronald L. Butts, 3508 Cassidy Road, Route W, Jefferson City, Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah, come on up.
Yeah.
I
think.
If not, please do so. This is a
Yeah.
a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, Cassidy, and the one on the bottom should be. Okay, so this is an abatement request. Basically, this, so Mike Sapp started out with this, and actually, I think, was involved with this many years ago, approximately 10 years ago. And the, at that time, there was an abatement, or abatement hearing, but then Mr. Butts agreed to go ahead and clean it up on his own. The commission was okay with that. There was an acceptable amount of cleanup done. Everything wasn't taken care of. Part of it, I believe, and Mr. Butts will describe this a little better than I can, but that there was some work done. He was given some opportunity to fix and repair lawnmowers and whatnot, and then, which I believe was taking place to some extent. However, we have had a another complaint recently. I think that was in March of 2021. And there was some opportunity, I believe, Mr. Butts, do you recall, were you aware in March, or when did you find out about that this was a concern again? I believe it was April, but I'm not sure. I don't want to.
I got notice on my door in April,
16th is when I went to the post office and received something through the mail that said this was going on. Okay. My daughter told me that there was something on the door about the Cole County Health Department. I had been exposed to COVID from a neighbor, so I've been doing, self-quarantine. Well, I thought, well, quarantine's over, I'll go over, even though I don't really need to get that notice, I'll go ahead and go get it. Well, it turned out that wasn't the notice. That was the notice that my property was being abated, or whatever they call it. So anyway, that's when I started. And it was 12 years ago, whenever that happened, 2009, whenever it happened the first time. And you've changed the rules. I've tried to stay with the rules, so you change the rules again in 2014. You had more, I guess you'll call it code somethings. But anyway, you've added more stuff. I guess I need to look every year to see what you all changed to the code to see if they've changed anything. I mean, realistically, I don't know how far you want me to get into this until I get. All right. I don't know how this whole situation works out. Here's what I've done so far today. All right, non-metal, okay? I've held off 10,640 pounds. That's 5.32 tons. There's 2,000 pounds in a ton, okay? So that's how much just non-metal I've hold off there. So, and whenever the tornado hit, okay, it came down and hit all the houses right in front of mine. It jumped off the ground. And when it jumps off the ground, I don't know how a tornado works, but all that shit just came right down on top of me. And I've been picking it up ever since. I've taken off 2,795 pounds. That's 1.398 tons. Batteries. What I do for a living, the only job I got, the only way I can make any money. I lost my job. This is the only way I can do it is to sell lawnmowers. That's the only thing I know how to do. It's the only thing I've ever done my whole life. I had batteries sitting around, so I thought that was what they complained about. So I took 1.281 tons of batteries off it. That's 2,562 pounds. I've been working out there every day. In the rain, it snowed, but I was out there. Here's the things that I've completed. I've cleaned up 4 trailers. All right, I got rid of 10 lawnmowers since I got. I made a new driveway. I poured 32 tons of gravel out, made a whole new driveway. I spent 495 pounds of gravel, and just paid $250 to spread it. I am doing everything I can. You've changed the rules. Used to be, I could put the lawnmowers in the driveway. Now you tell me to move lawnmowers. I'm going to do that. All right? This is the things I just got to do. I need to relocate the remainder of the vehicles to the new driveway. Okay? I'm going to sell 5 vehicles. I used to work in Columbia, and I never did make a lot of money, but I liked what I did. Okay? So I didn't have a lot of money for vehicles, so I kept extra vehicles there, so if one broke down, my boss was very commanding. If it breaks down, I still have to go to work. He don't care. So I just jumped in another vehicle until I had time to fix that and stuff like that. I've got kids, and whenever their vehicle breaks down, they always want to take something. Well, I say, well, you're going to have to just take one of those old cars, because that's the way I got it. Well, I'm going to get rid of 5 vehicles, okay? All right, and I'm going to get rid of all the lawnmowers in the driveway. But I've been out there every day. The only day I didn't go out there and work was the day of Mother's Day. My mom had a stroke, and I drove every day. I've been driving 110 miles to my house, from her house, and taking care of her. I take care of her, but then I drive 110 miles here to my house and work on this thing. And then I have a person taking care of her, even as we speak, and then I work on there 10 hours, spend 10 hours a day. And but then drive time's in there too, because that takes me about an hour and 45 minutes to get there. And then an hour and 45 minutes to get back. I've got to get back there before that lady goes home. She's got family too that I've hired to take care of my mom. I'm not there. I am doing everything I can make this property up to y'all's codes. It's not, they don't look that bad. It's a nice looking house. And I've done a lot of things even before, after he was gone. After he came out there and take a look at it. I got pictures of you all can look at them, so okay. You know, that's my deck, it looks fine, okay? I mean, this is some of the metal that I've held off, so I got pictures of the trailers. I don't know what you all want. I'm doing everything I can. Here's what I'd like for you all to do. I know you all want everybody's house to look like, you know, perfect. I'm doing everything I can to make my house look the way you all want to do. Okay? I've already started this, and once I get committed on a project, I'm 100% vested. And whenever I'm working on anything, a vehicle or a lawnmower, stuff like that, it's just me and the lawnmower. That's all I can think about. Me and that lawnmower, what I'm going to do to get that lawnmower fixed. It's the same way it's going to be with this here. I am 100% committed to get this property up to y'all's codes and stuff like that. And I'm going to work on it every day and to get this done. But it's hard to work on something when you got this word called abatement where they come in and they take everything you got. It would financially ruin me. Y'all taking everything I got. What I would like for y'all to do, I know, is let me fix this. Let me fix it right. You all don't care about leaves. You all don't care about limbs. You don't care about vegetation. I'd like to take and get it done right. I'm right there. Why don't I go ahead and rake up the leaves while I'm there? Let's go ahead and take and pick up the limbs and stuff like that the tornado hit and stuff like that. I walked around and I talked to every one of my neighbors. I said, hey, you know, I didn't want to tell them what I was doing, what was going on with my property. I was embarrassed. I haven't told anybody. I mean, it's
Hey,
embarrassing.
Mr. Buss, can I jump in? Joe, where are we at on this? I mean, I don't remember this coming up for abatement any time before. We haven't given any extensions. And that's what I'm hearing. He's asking for an extension, right?
Well, he would like to be able to, to actually continue to do this on his own. Typically, we allow, try to have landowners.
Well, it sounds like there's
take
progress being made. So is that where we're at? Is he's
Right, here's
continuing to
the-
make progress and he needs an extension? So how much time are you talking? Are you needing a couple of months to finish this up, or a couple of weeks, or?
The way to
it's-
do this right, and the way I want to do it, so okay, it's going to take 180 days. But I don't want to be, if my mom goes in a hospital, I don't want to have to make a decision whether I go to the hospital or go to my house. This doom and gloom is killing me. You all will financially ruin me.
Joe, show us where we're
I
at.
have
with
no
this.
job.
Okay, so basically, yeah, go ahead and back up the last one.
Let's take a look at it.
This
real
one
quick, Mr.
here.
Butts.
So, basically, I believe that you're wanting to you're gonna get rid of 5 vehicles.
Yes.
Try to sell those.
Yes.
Actual vehicles.
Yes.
And that'll still keep approximately that many on site.
Yes.
Which, I think that sounds reasonable. The actual lawnmowers, there are quite a few lawnmowers that are on the property. I think your plan, if I'm not mistaken, was to move those around in the back portion of your property, which is going to be out of sight should be out of sight of most, if not all, neighbors and people driving by. I think he plans to, from discussion with Mr. Butts, he plans to take parts of one mower and put them on, take 2 or 3 to make one usable mower, and then at that time possibly discard the old mower as well as get rid of the one that's for sale, that he sells. That will take a long time to get rid of because there are quite a number of mowers. I don't know if you have an idea of how many mowers you have.
I didn't go back there and count and stuff like that. I worked at Science Stricker, a John Deere dealer up in Columbia, okay? While I was in the hospital with my mom, the guys were calling me from work and says, hey, you want to trade for the lawnmower? Okay, I'm the main lawnmower guy too. So I says, I don't know. I says, what's wrong with this? Okay, they tell me stuff like that. And I say, I don't know. I said, you make decisions, okay? Well, anyway, they trade for lawnmowers, you know, and then they put it on my account, my account, and I had to pay for every one of these lawnmowers. And then, well, I was in the hospital. I was with my mom. She got out, and they called me in the office and says, "Hey, we want you to go work for another store." They had 10 stores at that time, and I said, "I can't do that." I said, "Whenever my mom gets out of the hospital, they're going to put her in a nursing home. I got to be able to see her every day." I said, "I got to work at this store." And I said, "We needed you in that store. We're going to give you promotion. You can go to the other store." I said, "I still can't do it." I said, "I'm trying to figure out a way to get more time off." And they says, "Okay, well, we'll take and get somebody else to take and work at the other store, and we'll get back with you on, you know, how you can have more time off." 2 months later, they called me office, and they said, "Well, we're going to let you go." After 25 years, they fired me because I didn't go to that other store. I made a decision to go with my mom instead of the store.
So, Mr. Butts, normally we'll do like 3 months or something. If we would do 120 days, would that be enough time for you to, that'd be 4 months.
You know,
If we would give you 4 months, would that be enough time for you to get everything taken care of?
well, I don't ever know what's going to happen in 4 months. I mean, all 2020, I mean, I spent almost the whole year with my mom in the hospital. She had pneumonia, she had 2 urinary tract infections, they gave her medicine, blood was going into her urine.
Mr. Butts, what do you want us to do?
You know,
We're,
let's look
no,
at-
Mr. Butts, what is your request?
My request is I've already started. It looks a lot better than what it did.
That's not your request. That's what you've done. What is your request?
I want you all to lift this abatement hearing, abatement off my property, and let me continue to clean it up and do it right. That's what my request is.
Okay, but you have to give us a date at which time you feel you will have completed the requirement to clean up the property. What is your date?
My date is I don't, all right, it seems like no matter what I do, it seems like it takes twice as long to do something. I don't know why it is, whether I work on a lawnmower or work on a car or whatever, it seems like it always takes twice as long. So, you know, I thought of 90 days, but then I thought, hey, it takes twice as long to take it every time I do something. I can't say 90 days and then they'll hold me to it, and then I come back to here, and then you all say I didn't do everything, and then you all take and do an abatement on my property after I've already done all this work. So that's why I came up with 180 days. And then I thought,
Okay, Mr. Butts, if you were granted 180 days to do this, will you be 50% complete in 90 days? Will our inspector be able to come back to us and say, this gentleman is doing what he said he was going to do, he's halfway there, he's halfway through the 180 days. Can we hold you to that? Will you commit to that?
if everything goes right.
Well, you can't do all these ifs. It's either, we'll settle on a date and we'll settle on progress, but we just can't put if in there. If happens, we'll look at it at that time, but we want a commitment from you as to when you will complete it, and halfway through that time, you'll be halfway completed.
Well, all right, let's look at some pictures here.
No, we don't need to do that. We know what,
Show me the driveway that I put in.
we know what the property looks like. You've admitted that you've moved tons of stuff off of there, so you've admitted there is an issue. That's not a question. We just want you to clean it up, and we don't demand perfect. You mentioned earlier that we want perfect. No, we don't want perfect. We want adequate. So you make a determination as to what it takes, how long it takes, and I just want to hold you to that halfway through, you're halfway there.
I mean, if you look at the halfway point for stuff like that, I've already done 50%, but who knows what's going to happen?
So in 90, if we say 180 days, 90 days we come back, you've made more progress. You said you have children who also, maybe have them come help you do this too. We just, we're not trying to, we just want to make sure you continue to work and we see improvement. If not, then the abatement goes through. So if we do it in 90 days, Joe comes back and looks and says, this is right. He reports to us. We've got another 90 days in. So there's your 180 days. Is that acceptable?
I hate to have this thing in my mind where you can't eat, you can't sleep or anything because you keep on thinking somebody's going to take everything you got. That's what kills me, is because I'm trying to concentrate on the yard and try to do a good job and stuff like that. But when my mind's thinking of that, every time I'm healthy, okay? I can do everything that this yard needs. And if not, I can hire somebody, or I will rent the equipment to do it, so again. But every time in my whole life that I've ever got hurt is because I wasn't concentrating on what I was doing at the time. And that's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
We're trying to work with you. So we're okay, say 108 days is 6 months, right? So if 3 months Joe comes back and looks, you've made progress, then we've got another 3 months. So you've got 6 months to, basically clean up as much as you can.
No, he's got 6 months to make it adequate, not as much as he can.
Adequate.
It's June, July, and August, 90 days. At the end of 90 days, we want to see this halfway home. June, July, August, September, October, November. At the end of November, we won't have any issues. That's what we want from you. And it's not the end of the world if we have to do some of this. Whatever it costs the county to clean this up, what you haven't cleaned up is just like an extra tax that goes on the property. And so after 3 years, it has to be paid off under the terms of the collector's office. So we're not going to go down there and take your property away from you. That's not what's going to
We have
happen.
a whole bunch of strangers coming to the property and just picking up whatever they want to throw on their truck and haul off your own. And that's not, I can't even think about that stuff like that. This big, I know where everything goes. There's a place for everything in my yard. It's not, what I'm saying? So if somebody was to throw away just a few pieces and stuff and haul them off, so you can't finish that project or whatever, and so, you have a Mike, do you have a picture?
Joe?
Joe, sorry. You have a picture, all right.
That area there has gravel under it now.
Can you get a picture of that?
I've got it on my phone, but I never did.
Okay, well,
So it's not
that's all
included on
gravel. I
here.
put 32 tons of gravel right there. That's all a concrete, all a gravel pad right there, a driveway basically. And all those vehicles that are there are all on the driveway. Let's go to the next picture. You got another picture, Joe?
Yeah, it's right there.
All right, this is my driveway, so okay. You see those lawnmowers that are sticking out there in a little bit, so those are gone, okay? All right, that's really the only thing you can see from that picture there, except for the driveway and stuff like that. Those vehicles have all been moved over to the concrete pad. It's all a gravel pad. I've got pictures of that gravel pad if you need it, stuff like that. All right, those lawnmowers right there, stuff like that, will be moved out, and you will not even be able to see that for road. The hood's gone, of course, and stuff like that. He said the wood pile doesn't matter, stuff like that. You see that whole area right there, stuff like that, over to the, I guess it's be all to the right, and stuff like that. That's not even like that. That's all mowed. That trailer's gone. That's all flat and level. There's nothing there and stuff like that. There's 2 of those lawnmowers that are still there at the top, so, okay, but they will be gone, so, okay. That stuff right there, in that pile and that blue tarp, so, okay, that's all gone. You can actually mow over there, you can walk over there, everything like it's done. Those garage doors over there, that's all done. Okay, now this is something that was legal back in 2009, but now there's a code enforcement against it. They said anything that it was in your driveway, it was okay on the lawnmower stuff. Yeah. Well, now the code has changed, and now the lawnmowers in the driveway is against the code. All those lawnmowers are going to be gone. Okay, but I have not done that yet. Okay, I concentrated on the yard, and I think that was where the most important thing was. And I've tried to take and address every health issue first. The day that I got this abatement notice and stuff like that, it was completely pouring down rain. I was like, what can I do in the rain and stuff like that? So I walked around the whole yard and emptied out everything and picked up everything that could hold water for mosquitoes and stuff like that. And then the second day, stuff like that, I was like, well, what's the next thing? Front porch, back porch. What's the next thing? Anything that could harbor any kind of animals or anything like that. Get rid of everything that could, something could be hiding and stuff like that. There wasn't no animals or nothing, but I got rid of everything, stuff like that. I concentrated on all health issues first. And I thought, okay, the battery's sitting there. That's bad. That's health issues. I said, let's get rid of those. I got rid of all the batteries. There's no batteries on the ground, stuff like that. Everything's gone, so yeah. I mean, realistically, I got the driveway to go, so it takes time, stuff like that. I mean, and, he brought up the point of, I wasn't even going to bring up 2009. That's whenever he was out there before, so again. In 2009, it was a little bit of a different situation. I was selling lawnmowers at that time, stuff like that. Well, anyway, I wasn't concentrating on what I was doing, just like always. And I was moving the lawnmower off the truck. And when I moved the lawnmower off the truck, it started falling. I put my arm underneath there and grabbed that lawnmower, but it fell. And it tore out all my ligaments in my arm. And you can't move your arm without ligaments. So I didn't know what to do. I had all this credit card debt. And I had to come up with some money fast. I had to pay for my arm to get it fixed because I had $2,000 deductible on my insurance. And then I had all these lawnmowers on my, so I took every lawnmower I had and I put it at the top and I put a for sale sign on every one of them. And it looked bad, but it worked.
Mr. Butts, I think we've heard enough of that, so I'm going to make a motion. I'm going to make first of all, thank you for the work you've done. Thank you for the cleanup that you have done. The improvement, I'm sure, is apparent. We want you to continue to make those improvements. But we owe a duty to your neighbors.
I went around and talked to every neighbor.
Hey, listen, I didn't interrupt you.
Sorry.
We owe a duty to your neighbors. So I'm going to make a motion to allow you 180 days to make the property comply with our code. And within 90 days, based upon our inspector, he's going to have to be able to tell us that you're halfway home, that you've completed 50% or more of what you need to do. That's my motion.
Do I need to go around and maybe have all my neighbors sign a piece of paper?
No.
No,
Say
no,
that they're
no,
okay?
no.
Because I have went around and talked to every neighbor so far.
Okay.
No, that's my motion.
Okay, I'm gonna second it, but just for clarification, in
Okay,
90 days,
let's
if Joe
discuss.
comes back and says there's not enough being done,
I wish he had
or
pictures. What
he
I've already
Okay.
done.
brings it to us, then we can at that time decide if we want to, be done with it and go ahead and bait the property. Because if we're giving them 180 days, we're really giving them 180 days.
Yeah.
I was fine with the 3 months, but if we want to do it this way,
I'm willing to negotiate terms, but at the end of the day, the property has to meet code. Whatever what time that is negotiable, how fast he's got to get there. But I don't want to give 180 days and it's 170 days and not much has been done, because it's obvious it's not going to get done.
yeah, and I want to clarify something too, that we don't go out looking for this stuff. This is all complaint driven, and the complaints that I'm getting are that some of the things are being moved, but then they get moved right back to where they were before. So it might be a derelict vehicle, it gets moved but now it's sitting on gravel, so I think that's been part of the complaints. So I think just trying to appease the neighbors a little bit is one of the things.
And that's what I did. I went around I didn't want to tell them what was going on. I went around to each one of the neighbors and said, hey, you know, I haven't been at my house because my mom's been, you know, had the stroke, and I said, but here she's like stable right now, and I said, I'm doing some yard work. Is there anything that you need me to do on my yard that you think would make it look a little bit better? I tried to explain to him, but not tell him what the whole situation was. And anyway, one neighbor, you know, he said that whenever the tornado hit and it picked up that tree of mine and threw into his tree, it broke all the limbs off of it. Now he had tree limbs broken in his tree over on his property, and he thought that was not right. So I got up there in the tree and I cut off all the limbs that was hanging, so maybe it won't fall on his thing. So I did that for him. So one person said that, you know, whenever the electric company came down there at your house, they cut off that tree, just like that.
Okay,
in the yard.
we have a motion and a second, so we're gonna go ahead and proceed with that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we're giving you the 180 days. In 90 days, the health department will come back and check on your progress. Hopefully, you're gonna get a lot done in 90 days. Then we will give you another 90 days. So, you know, we're trying to work with you. We're giving you what you requested. Just proceed, keep doing it the way you're doing it, sell the cars, move the mowers, and we're all good. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Abatement hearing 202-101-001, Gilbert M. Stanley and Jessica A. Wilhelm, 1926 Osage Ash Street, Jefferson City, Missouri, 65101. Mr. Stanley is here.
Have you signed in also? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Okay, that on there too, should be on there.
It's up on my screen.
That took a second, doesn't it?
Oh, it's not.
You broke it. Did you lose your Wi-Fi? It was asking me if I wanted to share it with you all.
I was trying to send those pop-up pictures.
I got the same message.
Oh.
Want to share your Wi-Fi with Debbie?
It's like, oh no.
I was trying to get it to send. That was on my phone.
Well, we will attempt, anyway, so the status of this is, this was, I believe, in January of 2021, there was a complaint, and so I think Mike Sapp went out to the location at that time for Mr. Stanley's property. There were quite a few vehicles, unlicensed vehicles, and at Osage City on, at 1924, 1926 Osage Ash Street. And so I believe at that time, I don't know exactly when Mike actually talked with you, and I think there was some, Jeff, you were there also, I
I believe it was
believe.
January the 4th, because it was 2 days after my dad passed away. He passed away on the 2nd.
Okay, and sorry to hear that, and I think Mike did kind of, when he found that out, it wasn't, I mean, obviously, that's, that allows for some time to take care of that situation, and that before, you know, having to address anything with this. But I am not sure what the status is now as far as, I have gone out there, but didn't have a lot of information as far as, it looks like quite a few more vehicles have shown up from the time that, just from our aerial photos from 5 years ago, but I don't know what's been done in the past 4 months.
I've only owned the property for 3 years.
Okay.
So, I mean,
And were there any vehicles on the property when you purchased it?
no. I drive Ford trucks, so if I find a truck, it's usually cheaper to buy a parts truck than it is to buy a part. Things got out of hand. I've got about 10 of the vehicles that need minor work that can be sold. A friend of mine has, I think, like 15 on there. I was crushed in a car wreck back in March of 14, so the weather, when it's super cold, I mean, it puts me down. I take, we had, you know, all the 20 and lower temperatures. And then it went from that straight into rain. I've taken 2 trailers in to try and load stuff on, but it is so muddy that, I mean, you know, it's a field.
Yeah.
I think when we went down there, you said you had a lot of buddies that were dumping stuff on there too, that need to get some of it off of there. So have they been able to come and get some of their stuff off either? Has it been too wet for
A
them?
buddy of mine came in and got 2 of his vehicles. I think he's got 1 more down there. And then the other friend of mine that has a few on there, I mean, you can't even get through the drive.
I think part of the problem is here with that many vehicles, if you don't get it cleaned up now, it becomes a problem with an auto salvage yard, which is regulated by the state.
Yeah.
So that's what we're just trying to get ahead of that here, if you get some of that cleaned up and stuff. I think we're in the same position. You just,
About
you
3
need some more
weeks
time.
ago, I ordered a 40 by 120 building, and they told me it would be in 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the weather.
And COVID.
Well, and that information I just got recently, last week, correct?
Yeah.
And then
And then I've also bought enough fence material to put up 1,000 feet of fence. But at the same time, you know, when you're dealing with a mud hole, it's kind of hard to put up a fence.
So as far as the building, there is a potential concern there with, I don't think you have a building permit through Public Works.
No, it's like it's basically a huge carport. So if it's a portable building, I mean, would you need a building permit for that?
I don't think you do on those.
Yeah, I don't know, and I didn't want to, I don't know the style of the building, and so I don't want to speak for Public Works if that would be required or not.
I wasn't even thinking of that, and I can check in and get the permit.
But I think we're in the same boat as the previous one, so how much time do you need to get this stuff done?
Well, I mean, the point I was gonna make was it's in a floodplain, so according to Public Works, it might not be able to be allowed. But, I mean, I think, you know, so that's what I just found out last week, at Public Works. And so I know Mike had talked to, I can't remember who with Public Works, but, to inform me of that.
Probably Shannon.
It's
So,
in the
oh, yeah, I think
100-year
it was Shannon.
floodplain where the stuff is sitting. I mean, when you walk in the driveway, everything to the right, if water comes up, that's where the water is. Where the vehicles are sitting now, it got 3 inches of water in the flood of '93. Because my aunt owned the house that directly butts up to the property that I purchased.
Okay. Oh, well, there they are. Okay, so, yeah, this is what the property looks like now. I believe I counted approximately 65 vehicles. It could be more or less than that.
That's right there, I mean.
Yeah, and so, quite a few, and then that's the 2021, if you go to 2015, which was before you owned the property, but,
Yes.
Well, yeah, that showed that.
Yeah, in 2015, there were junk
Yeah,
mobile homes
to the
and
left.
stuff. I cleaned all those up, got them out of there.
So that's, Anyway, so quite a few vehicles have been acquired in a short period of time, but it sounds like you are talking with, I mean, what is your actual plan then as far as removal of vehicles, or is it just to store them?
Probably about 12, maybe 13 of the trucks I plan on storing inside of the building. I don't know, would I have to store my backhoe and my Bobcat and my tractor and brush hog in a building, since that is considered farm equipment?
If it's operable, you would not need to.
You know, and then I have 5 trailers sitting on the property. 2 of them I just took in, so I would have something to load it, you know, the stuff that I'm scrapping, hauling off.
Right, and that, I mean, farm equipment and stuff would not, if it's operable farm equipment, it would not need to be removed.
So, I mean, the building will play a key role. If I can get a week and a half of not raining every day, I can get a large section of fence for the few vehicles that I plan on keeping. At the same time, if we get some break in the weather, then my friends can get theirs out of there. Bless you. And, I mean, I was thinking either 30 to 60-day extension. If it wasn't for the weather, I wouldn't need that long, but with the weather, I would hate to say 30 days, and then it rained for the next 15 days, and you're, you know, constantly dealing with a huge mud hole.
I'm fine with 60 days and revisit it, and if, you know, you need some more time at that point because of unforeseen circumstances, we can look at it then.
And I mean,
kind of gives you a goal to go after.
Yeah.
It was my fault. Things snowballed, you know, 6 to 8 months prior to you all coming down. I'd been taking my dad 4 days a week to the VA hospital for cancer treatments, and, you know, after a while, you don't care.
Yeah, 65 vehicles is a lot of vehicles, so. I'm good with 60 days as well.
Yeah. I'll make a motion, we do a 60-day extension and revisit it then on 1926 Osage Ash Street.
Second.
Any other discussion?
No, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, thank you, gentlemen,
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you.
And then, who would I need to talk to about on this building, whether it would qualify if I had to have a permit or not a permit?
Get old Shannon out at Cole County Public Works.
Okay, do you happen to have their phone number?
6410.
No, yes. Thank-
Is it 635 or 666?
636.
636-3614.
Yes, 636-3614.
She's gonna get me a card.
Okay.
In 3 minutes, I'll be crush your head and your memory kind of goes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here,
Brian.
Here.
It's not the biggest one, but it's what I had.
Okay.
Talk to
Thank you very
Shannon,
much.
he's in planning, and he'll be able to tell you what you need to
I
do on
appreciate
that.
you guys' help, and thank you for the time.
Okay.
Y'all have a great day.
All righty, thanks.
Okay.
636-3614, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, he will. Oh, you're right, it's bigger.
I'm just
That helps.
Bigger and the name of where Shannon Lee goes.
One eye and one ear, that don't help me.
So my handwriting might not help.
Okay.
Between the two, everybody tells me I should have been a doctor.
You might just read my handwriting then.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep moving ahead.
Second final reading of budget adjustment number 11.
This is for $18,392. This is for a vehicle in the sheriff's department that was wrecked. This is the insurance proceeds. I do need an action today.
All right, any questions or anything? Okay, make a motion, we sign court order number 11 for $18,392.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion of 2021-10 CAD services.
For 2021-10 CAD services, we had talked about this months ago. And we had 3 people submit bids, Rapid Deploy, Pro Phoenix, and Tyler Technologies. At this time, our recommendation is going to be to reject all the bids.
Okay. Any questions or anything on that?
I think that's probably the proper thing to do at this time, based upon changing environment there, and we just don't. If we pulled the trigger on that now, we might regret it later. So, and we're running out of days anyway, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they-
I think it was June 12th is when we needed to make a decision. And
Okay.
we already extended it once.
right.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we reject the bids for the CAD services 2021-10.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. By golly. Do we have anything else to come before us today?
When's the sheriff's barbecue? You said it's next
It
Tuesday?
is the 8th of June. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay.
Get that in the paper, Jeff.
You'd think we would've got an invitation. Maybe they forgot the J's.
I didn't get one either. If it hadn't been for,
JH's.
if it hadn't been for the Mid-Missouri Old Car Club, I wouldn't know anything about it either.
Okay. Oh, he's back.
Not even paying attention.
Okay.
I'm listening out here, I'm sorry.
I don't think I had anything else. I just wanted to verify that date, so. Okay. Make a motion, we stand in recess until 4:30.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you send us invitations?
So you changed the date on that one?
The barbecue?